And for those of you who are still here, I just wanted to show you the opposition to the full moon at 11 degrees. Let me switch my color real quick so that you can see it. 11 degrees of Capricorn. And then you should see the sun at 11 degrees in the sign of Cancer. And here is Cancer energy. You see that? That's Cancer. And that's also homes, because it's the sign of Cancer. The moon rules the sign of Cancer. So when you see the moon in a chart, when you see the sign of Cancer in a chart, think of all the keywords for the moon. Think of mom. Think of feminine energy. Think of home. Think of the sticks and the bricks. Think of ancestry. Think of my tribe energy, feelings, emotions, empathy, and nurturing. Cancer energy. The sun in the sign of Cancer, 18 degrees and 11 minutes. And Mercury is also there. So this is news. This is information. This is how we know what we'll be hearing about. Mercury. It's the reporter. It's the scribe, keeping track of the details. And it's in home. It's in Cancer. So I believe whether it's women, whether it's women's ability to have a baby, whether it's women's ability to choose, women's freedom, the body autonomy, think of all the keywords for home and family. Home and family. And the sign of Cancer is when the baby's in the womb, by the way, for those of you who, when a baby's in the womb, it represents, some say they kind of call it like a wormhole. I've heard people use that term, because what happens, right? The mother is the home for that baby, right? Just like the body of the baby is the home for that soul, but that mother is providing a home for that baby until that's the protection, right? The mother provides that. It's the mother's body that supplies that. It's conjunct Sirius here. Or I should say Sirius, 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 not Sirius Black. This is a feminine energy, a divine mother goddess energy, Sirius, and Mercury's right on it. So this again speaks to women, abortion, all the stuff that's been in the news, all that crap. All that crap. Feelings, emotions, news, Mercury, Sirius. Some authority person, someone who's in the spotlight, but also possibly the sticks and the bricks. When we pull back a little bit on the chart, I want you to pay attention to Venus. Venus is at 22 degrees here. She doesn't quite get on top of Mars. Mars and Venus don't exactly get next to each other. This is about as close as they get. This is about it. 3 degrees away almost. A little bit over 3 degrees away. This is as close as Venus and Mars are going to get. Mars is going to eventually get to 29 degrees and then go into the next sign. Venus, however, gets to about 28 degrees and then she retrogrades. There's a lot of videos up on the channel, if you haven't seen them, about the Venus retrograde and how much time she spends in Leo energy. That's important because this is my ability to create, my choice to procreate, and for me to choose how I create. Believe it or not, that's what that is. It doesn't have to be about having babies. There can be other ways that we create. It's Venus, my values. She's at 22 degrees. Why does that matter? Let's go take a look at the fixed signs. This kind of tells us a bigger story, especially because this full moon involves women, involves feminine energy. The moon is at one end in Capricorn. The moon is at the other end because we have the sign of Cancer. We have Venus over here, feminine energy in Leo. And what else do we have? Take a line to Venus at 22 and look. Venus was squaring Uranus 3 days before this full moon at the beginning of July. Venus was in a tight square with Uranus energy. Taurus and Leo angle each other. When I say square, it's stress and tension. Venus energy. Venus actually rules Taurus. So Taurus is feminine energy. But it's getting squared up with Uranus. Uranus is an authority figure. Uranus is shocks and surprises. Uranus is individuality, my identity. It's also my independence, freedom, the rights. You see the themes, the common themes that I'm repeating here. Common themes. And then there's Jupiter at 942, the judges, right? So these are just some key words, and they aren't just about women and feminine energy. Taurus is banking. Taurus is banking. Leo energy is taking a risk. Risk with what? With what I love, who I love, but my money and my values, Venus. How do we take a risk with our money? This Venus, at the beginning of July, squaring Uranus. Shocks and surprises. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just a Venus. It's a Venus square. If we pull back to see if there's anything in Scorpio over here, there's nothing in Scorpio at 21. There's nothing there. The other fixed sign would be Aquarius, and we do have something there. We have something at 23, Hygeia. Hygeia is the health. This is important. Hygeia talks about the health of a thing. It's not good or bad. It just says, this is the state of health of this thing or person. How do we know what thing or person that it's talking about? The sign that it's in, Aquarius. Aquarius energy. Global financial systems. Aquarius energy. This is also group energy. This is tech. This is innovation. So when I go back up a little bit from the chart, we go back down a little bit, we're going to create a T-square. You see the T-square with Venus? Yep. Venus is in a tight opposition here. Very tight opposition with that sign. So the thing for you in your chart to understand this, I know it's complex because I talked about multiple things. I might have lost you at some point when I started talking about the sign of Cancer, right? Here's the sign of Cancer down here. It's all that stuff in blue, the crab, home, family, nurturing, and mom energy. Where is that in your chart? Specifically, where is 11 degrees in your chart? That's one area of your life. That 11 degrees is going to be in one house, just like the 11 degrees of Capricorn is going to be in one house. So those are the houses you're looking for to see where the full moon, the push-pull, and the opposition energy happens. Can be some stress and tension, right? But you want to see also, what do you have in Taurus at 21, 22? What do you have in Leo at 21, 22? And what do you have in Aquarius at 21, 22? It doesn't have to be all bad, but likely some stress and some tension. Aquarius is friends and group energy and technology, right? The same keywords that I used for Uranus energy. Technology, individuality, my freedom, somebody who's in charge, possibly authority figure, someone who's in charge of money, right? And Aquarius, the global financial systems. Aquarius can be science, it's astrology, and then Venus. So where is 22 degrees of Venus in your chart? What house number is it in? Put it in the comments below. Where is your 21, 22 degrees of Taurus in your chart? Put it in the comments below. Where is your 21, 22, 23 degrees of Aquarius in your chart? Put it in the comments below. Those are the areas of your life where it's stress and tension. And this is an area of your life where there's going to be, these themes are going to come up again. because Venus does a retrograde. She's getting close to the time of where she's going to be retrograding. She stops at 28. Go watch those videos. She's going to stop at 28 and she's going to go backwards. So she's going to be riding over this 22, 23 degrees again. So it's not something that happens quick. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a review. It's something we're going back to look at the details. We're looking how we were being risky, possibly with our finances, possibly with romance, possibly even with children. This is like sports. This is entertainment, right? You know how we do like sports betting and all that stuff, right? How we take a risk with what and who we value, Venus energy. And I'm pointing to Venus, even though this is a full moon, we have to understand the whole picture. So the Capricorn full moon, what do you think it's going to be? For people who are in charge, or people who used to be in charge, people who used to be public figures or used to be political figures, yeah, this can be a hot time. This can be a hot time for them. The stress and the tension with that T-square can angle up in an uncomfortable way. But you can also have some wonderful things that are going to be occurring and that can bring relief and that can bring an ease, because these moon's nodes are going to be moving mid-July. You see here, they're already at 126. The north and the south node are at 126. That north node down there is going to get to 29 degrees of Aries, and it's going to travel all through fire for the next 18 months. Fire, which means it'll start trining all this Leo energy. We'll get a beneficial trine to it. So keep that in mind when you're understanding the bigger picture of this, as far as, maybe what's in the news or in the entertainment industry or whatever. But more importantly, where the Leo energy is in your life. There could be a beautiful ease that's coming for you. So even though it might not sound so great, there's always some ease somewhere. There's always something beautiful and optimistic somewhere. We just kind of, what's the saying? You got to kind of just be in the water and keep the nose and the lips above the water line, right? And sometimes you just got to kind of wait. You got to kind of wait it out and know that there will be a time when things get a little bit easier and aren't as stressful. Okay. So this was a quick view of the Capricorn full moon, a release, possibly an ending. And what we've learned by this chart, it's kind of complex, but we see the common themes that kept coming up with the moon: feminine energy and homes, and even the public, because that is also the moon and the sign of Cancer, the public, possibly housing, maybe the values, maybe the housing bubble finally bursts. Could be. There's been talk. Everyone's been talking. It's in a bubble. It's in a bubble. We shall see. It's a full moon in Capricorn. It's likely, if it happens, tied to banking. And this video showed that there's stuff going on with banking. So thank you for your time. Let me know if you got any questions, and I'll help you out in any way I can. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.